segment here, though, which this one is imagine to just have a fat finger with 105 oopsie.
That's a really fat finger right there.
So, oh.
Well,
Man.
yeah. Speaking of fees, right? I heard about this one too. It's like beginner beware here. There is a trader that accidentally paid $105,000 in a fee on a tiny $10 Bitcoin transaction. So it's like that's a few too many zeros right there, buddy.
And it is tough because once that is done, it's done. That's the two side. I mean, we're obviously bullish. We like the technology. We're huge proponents of this. By the way, no financial advice, right? So, but this is kind of the problems, right? That's the two sides of the coin. That basically, because you have your own privacy, your own way to protect your currency, transferable and all that. But once that you push it through the network, it's gone. And some people, at least maybe this person is sending it to a wallet. But I know stories that actually people has, like, when they are copy and pasting, they don't copy the first character or the last character. It's like, oh shit, they send it to limbo.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stark reminder of like the complexities of self custody in general, right? Manual transaction inputs and things like that. Whenever you're just when you're sending your transactions using your wallet app. The thing is, I have heard this is not the first time this happens, right? This can happen somewhat easily if you're just not paying attention. You put the wrong thing in the wrong box or put too many zeros. But I have heard of the person contacting the exchange and trying to see if they can get at least part of the money back, right? When it's something kind of like that big or egregious there, right? that might be worthwhile to try and see, hey, like you just got $105,000 fee. Obviously all your other fees are like pennies. Like, can you help me out here?
Yeah, I feel that if it's going to a wallet from a institution, I think that you might get a chance there. But if you're getting somebody like out of internet, like I don't think that you're getting your money back. So here maybe a tip and advice. Always check the first, basically all of the numbers, right, on the wallet.
Yeah.
I double check the last ones and the first ones just to make sure, or even better, just get the QR codes. Like
Mhm.
just scan the QR codes, and so that way you are able to transact it. Or do you have another way? Do you do transactions on?
Yeah, that's basically what you've got to do. But even then, you got to be careful. A lot of times, I know when you're moving things around, you're copying and pasting these addresses, right? There are some exploits where these I guess hijackers are living on your laptop or whatever, wherever you're doing this stuff, and they will see that you're copying an address into a wallet, and they will switch out that address. So like Mando said, double check your address, but sometimes they can be real sneaky and it looks similar to the address you're looking at. So be super thorough. Make sure the right to and from addresses are on there, the right amounts are on there. Make sure you've got the right units. Again, it is complex, and that's why a lot of people are, they can be somewhat afraid of self custody, right? It's because one mistake can be pretty costly. Well, so I mean,
Maybe for those instances, you might be able to just use like Coinbase, like if you don't feel very confident, use Coinbase or Kraken or even Cash App now. And I and I feel that now they are getting into. I feel that now the banks are gonna have their own, right? You're gonna have like Wells Fargo wallet, Fidelity wallet, which they actually did. I just opened an account there just to test it out, and it feels so different, like from the tech companies versus the the legacy, like a banking
uh,
system. It's like took a while just to create an account. The wallet didn't show up like in many many
yeah.
hours. So, but it's getting there.
Yeah, that's true. And like we mentioned earlier about block, the more that people are used to using this kind of like on a day-to-day basis, it'll become a little bit more normal. You'll become more familiar with all the fields that are necessary and things like that. But hope that is still kind of one of the things that gives me butterflies whenever you're doing this stuff is like like don't mess it up. You've got to be really careful with this. So always double check your transaction details and try to use solutions like the Lightning Network for small payments, or stick with reputable interfaces, right? That calculate the fees automatically, so you don't have to manually do that stuff. So there's some ways to be a little bit safer.